Welcome back. We're glad you're still with us here on Morning at NTV. If you're just joining us from wherever you're watching, just know that we are happy that you have chosen us. We're broadcasting live from the Kampala Serena Conference Center and taking note at this particular moment in time of building core brand values for sustainable tourism development. Uganda received about 814,508 international visitors in the year 2022. That was 59% up year on year, according to the Ministry of Tourism. Theoretically, tourism could be a key driver for Uganda's economic growth and transformation. At the end of the year, tourism continues to boom as people are taking vacations and many sector players are tapping into these opportunities. And as Christmas nears and end of year, there are many of you who are seeking to go on vacation and do some extraordinary things that should be able to, well, return you to exactly where you need to be. A good life, feel good about yourself, but most importantly, support the tourism sector. Joining us in the studio this morning is Felix Odongkara. He's the Public Relations Officer at Extreme Adventure Park Busiika, and he's going to be taking us through exactly what these experiences are and how that factors into the tourism question. You're most welcome to the program.
Thank you, Chris, and
Hi.
good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
Great stuff. When I hear adventure, I get these ideas about movies, seeing stuff, but that is the horrific aspects of it. Adventure tourism has come to be known as that which brings out people's ability to handle extreme leisure activities, the ones that could be scary on first sight, but actually gives you a thrill. Why am I even talking about that? Please, do take us through what the adventure tourism aspect and concept is.
Yes, good morning, viewers. My name is Odongkara Felix from Extreme Adventure Park. Now, to dig straight into the aspect of adventure tourism. By definition, when you look at adventure tourism, we're literally looking at travel experiences. That looks at outdoor activities. That is in a layman's language.
Outdoor activities.
But when you look at the in-depth narration of what adventure tourism is as defined by the Adventure Travel and Trade Association, which is an affiliation of the UN and under the World Tourism Organization, it looks at adventure tourism as that experience that encompasses one of the two of the three elements that ranges between the physical activity, it looks at the natural environment, and then the cultural immersion within it. So each of these particular adventure activities that we see out there on a given day is actually an amalgamation of two of the three elements. It could be a physical activity that is embedded within the physical natural environment, or it is embedded within the cultural immersion. Over time, when you look at adventure tourism, the global spectrum, we look at it from a very productive angle. When you have it contributing to almost 10% of the global GDP, yes, and you look at it also offering at least one of every 11 job opportunities in the world. So it plays a very key role in the spectrum of the globe, as from the activity basis and then also from the economic point of view. One of the biggest, of course, when you look at it from the geographical location, North America carrying the biggest percentage in terms of infrastructure development. You look at the Asia Pacific, you look at Europe. Now it is very, very demanding that Africa is nowhere in that picture. Why? Because we have not taken the initiative into developing our structure. But over time, we look at it as a very productive aspect, and it is going to be very, very, very productive when you take the opportunity as a country, as a region, and as a continent, because it is very, very viable. When you look at it, actually, it literally contributes 489 billion in terms of resources for the globe.
Okay,
yes.
That's an interesting perspective there. But when I look at what can interest the international tourists to Uganda in terms of adventure tourism, many of the things that they want to experience have pretty much been experienced elsewhere in the world. Are there any unique aspects about Uganda's adventure packages that give an experience that can't be found anywhere else?
Yes, I would say yes. And we have an upper hand in terms of competitive advantage.
Okay.
Why? Because most of our activities are developed around the natural environment, which you may not find in many of the places. When you look at things like the rafting that we offer, we look at the bungee jump, we look at the trekking, because by all means adventure is divided into different spectrums. You look at it from the angle of the soft adventure and then the hard adventure. So when you look at it that way, we have a high hand in terms of resource usage, in terms of the effective use of resources in the nature setting. When you go to Dubai, which is a major place where people travel to go and do the skydiving, to do all the mega zip lines, these are artificial structures, yes. But when we embed it, for example, you look at the zip lines in Busiika, you look at the zip lines in Mawira, these are nature-based, and you are flowing with the environment, with adrenaline within the environment. So we have the upper advantage in that aspect, yes.
Okay. All right. On the Extreme Adventure Park in Busiika, I think it's a very signature recreation center for many of the Ugandans who've been there. Ahead of Christmas, what are we looking at?
Of course, that is our tradition. We always ensure that our customers are very much taken care of during the festive seasons. We look at a very entertaining and action-packed festive season, because Busiika over time has developed. And this development has been on concepts of providing a very comfortable option for families, for corporate companies, for individuals. Based on the concept of adventure, Busiika has developed over time almost having 12 activities. And it ensures that each and every individual out there is actually given the opportunity to enjoy something. You could be 60, you could be 40, you could be 5 years. There's always something for you. Okay. So this particular festive season, we are looking at offering one of our biggest signature activity for this period is the Go-Kart tournament. But also above it all, we still have the kids concept. We're looking at the kids corners. We have other tournaments like the cooking cocktail challenge. So you can come as a family, you can come as individuals, and you take part in all these activities. Of course, the go-karts are available even for individuals away from the participation days. We have the quad bikes, we have swimming, we have the zip lines, we have the skydiving, we do have lots of the helicopter rides. So it actually is an action-packed period. All you have to do is just make the decision, and then you book with us and come through.
What type of chopper do you have there for that helicopter ride? Is it a Chinook?
Of course, the Chinook is quite very big, but we have the one we use right now is the 50S, and it takes practically 4 people. So for the helicopter rides that we offer, it's a carrying capacity for 4, a family, a standard family of 2 kids and 2 parents. Yes.
Okay. Yes. So how is it going to be? When is it? How can somebody become part of it? By simply appearing as a reveler or a client, or there is something about pre-registration? Because go-karting being a tournament, won't be taking in just about everybody who appears at Busiika.
Of course not. For preparation sakes, we advise people, and it has been the marketing message out there, that you pre-register, pay a fee of 200,000.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and you get to compete. This particular tournament has been organized for 2 days. That's the 24th and 27th. And everyone is actually encouraged to participate even for the 2 days. There's no restriction to that. So all you have to do is go to our websites, go to all our social media handles, and then you register and make the payment of 200,000. With that comes other benefits. If you are registered and paid up participant, you can actually come and train at half the pre-fee of what the normal person would pay. So all this is actually in high preparation for us to host this tournament. And also we're using this as a first of its kind in the country, and we are benchmarking into having more engagement for the go-kart for the corporate world, where we can have companies compete on that particular spectrum. And then you have also lots of things in coming up. So like the leagues, we are planning to have a league for the go-kart and all that. But away from the go-kart, for all other activities, you can call in, make inquiries, can make bookings, and you can literally just walk in and you actually have a great time at Extreme Adventure Park.
Okay, I don't have the option of showing my audience the go-kart roundabout now, so that some of us who might not be initiated into these things can understand what the go-kart is. The go-kart is where, just explain to us that, you know, I can't even attempt to explain. Please do.
I think the closest I can relate to for those of us who actually follow MotoGP or what we call the Formula One, it is a smaller version of the
Formula One. These things are high end. It's a
no,
smaller version of that.
Yes, it's a smaller version of that with a very minimal requirements for you to participate. And as long as you have the right height, you can drive. It's a very minimal requirement. And this is actually on the basics of acceleration and brake.
Acceleration and brake.
Yes, with a very simple basics of maneuvering around the corner. Where the interesting thing is now the skill on how to balance speed, weight, and then turns. So that is where the beauty is. Yes.
Balancing speed, weight. You've already talked about the right height. Now, as a 6'5" guy, can I go karting?
You pretty much actually qualify so well.
You sure?
Yes, the limitation is with the kids because their limbs may not be able to reach the acceleration for the cars that we have. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Now, in January and February, Uganda will be hosting a whole lot of international visitors, and the tourism sector has been primed as one of the foremost sectors that will be able to bring in some foreign exchange. When I look at the availability of the recreation services that some of these visitors might want to actually engage in, have you factored in the amount of tourists who might want to let go of the business of the summits after they are done to come and have a little bit of adventure fun? Have you factored that in?
Yes, that is that's actually a big consideration that we have had, and we always have, because this business tour is actually the biggest percentage of the numbers that we get in the country as per the statistics. So for all those, we are currently working with all the hotels, because we very much know that these are residential places and somebody cannot be sleeping for 2 days. So we are pretty much working with all hotels to ensure that our products in terms of information are out there for them to actually get to know that Uganda is a beautiful place that you can actually explore beyond coming for a business or conference or MICE, as you may state it. So yes, that is very important. But also away from that, I would like to probably pass on to this information that Uganda as it is has a deficit of destinations. Because as per record, it has been factored that almost tourists go back with 60% of their planned income. Why? Because there is
nowhere to spend that money.
Nowhere to spend all this money. So it's very actually important and imperative that for all the people actually looking into investing, they should look at product diversification away from the construction of rooms, which is actually pretty much a challenge that we have today with a very low occupancy rates, because the main point where people come to a destination is for attractions and we are short of it. Yes.
All right. Felix Odongkara, Public Relations Officer, Extreme Adventure Park in Busiika. Many thanks for the perspective.
Pleasure is mine, Chris, and thank you, NTV.
And that will do it for our Tech Note, building core brand values for sustainable development. Priscilla Regina Naloga will be at hand, tackling a related issue, improving Uganda visitor experience ahead of the non-aligned movement and the G77 plus China 3rd South Summit at the beginning of 2024. Stay with us.